video later, but I still want you to pay attention here. So that's one way of doing it here, but BBC owns this and it's got their watermark on it. So one of the other things that you might want to do is go to Creative Commons, and what I was able to do is through Creative Commons, I don't know if you guys can see this over here in my Google look, but you can go and find pictures that people have given you permission to use. So later on, if you made this into some kind of campaign and you were going to make money off of it, it's okay. You can't steal people's stuff off the internet. You can't take their music and that kind of stuff. So let's say I'm going to try to get this guy. I'm going to go to Actions. I'm going to say View All Sizes because I want to do this story on India. And what I want to do is I want to download the large size, or maybe the original size. It's 4,000 by 3,000 pixels. The large size is 768 by 1024. I want to do it on web, so maybe I want to do it 480 by 640. Maybe that's a better size. So I'm going to click, medium 640, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to download the medium 640 size of this photo. So that's showing up here. And
what is it? The 640. What is the dimension? And that's the dimensions, right?
Yeah. So X and Y dimensions. So it's going to be 480 across and 640 above. And what I always tell the 4th grade students I teach, remember Y to the sky. Y's up and down. You remember that? Yeah. Okay, good, good. Okay, so I'm going to open up Photoshop. And Photoshop has a toolbar along the side. And what I want to do is I go up to the top file and I'm going to open something. And so it's what I just downloaded. So it's probably going to be in my Scott Betts place. And then I go to my downloads place. And hopefully this is it. And I'm looking at the time. It was 3:34 when this was downloaded. It's 3:35 now, so that's probably it. So I'm going to open it up, and there she is. Now, if you want to do anything to this, you might find that you might want to adjust the light or the shadow. You want to maybe snap the contrast up a little bit. So you can go up to Image, and you can adjust the image. And there's all these different things that you can do. From what I remember, Nick was able to desaturate or go to a grayscale with the maple leaves. And so one way to do it is you can desaturate it with adjustments, and I can take that down to a gray. I'm going to undo. Thank you. And the other thing is you can go to mode and go to grayscale and change it. And then I'm throwing away the color information. You can also do this just in a gradual instead of going all the way to grayscale. My adjustments. The desaturate, I can go up to hue and saturation, and I can back down the saturation so maybe it's not completely gray. And do you see how that's just slowly going duller and duller, the color is leaving? Okay. So there's lots of little things you can do to adjust your images. I'm going to go back to some of the ones that I was working on before, and let's see if so this image right here, I think his face is just a little bit in the shadow, and I like to be able to bring that out just a little bit more. So I'm going to open this in Photoshop. And I'm doing Apple P to make it larger. All right. So the shirt seems to be okay. The sky seems to be okay. But what I can do is with a lasso tool. You see this lasso tool? Okay. I can hold down on it and it will open up. And I've got something called magnetic lasso. And what it will do is it will stick to things that are similar. And so if I start to make this little lasso tool follow around his head, it's going to be looking for similar color pixels.
That's pretty amazing. This program is doing pretty sophisticated computer vision analysis right now to pick the contrast between this car and the darkness. In the old days, you have to spend a lot of time manually following and going back to cleaning up the selection.
And what I'm doing is not going to be the quality that you'll see in the movies, the quality you'll see in the magazines where they'll, work on a woman's face for a cosmetics ad. But I can now go in here and do the same thing I did before. I can go into adjustments, and I can go into brightness and contrast, and I can lighten that area of the face. If I do it too much, it's probably not going to, sort of go along with some of the other areas. Did you see how I've lightened it just a little bit more? Okay, so it's a little bit easier to see. Now, maybe if you create too much contrast, the color comes out too much and it's too intense. So you got to be careful how much you do this. But this is one way that you can get in here and sort of change things up a little bit. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to leave it like that. Nick was also saying that you could measure. And let's just say, we're going to try to measure something in here. Can you pick 2 points in here to measure? Okay, from one tree to the next?
Or the little black thing. From the black thing, the first black thing. Yeah, that one right there. To the tree all the way to the back.
Okay, so I'm going to try to bring... So this isn't going to show up on our video so well, but what we've got here is we've got our X and Y off to the side. And so as soon as this goes in here, it's telling me where my cursor is. So as far as where the X and the Y are, okay?
You got that from info on the side. There's a menu, right?
Yes, and so so if I wanted to, find out where this point is, I could write that down, and then we're going to go to the next one. I could find out where this point is, and I want to write that down. Okay. You can also, create a line for yourself if you want to go back to it a couple times. And so in this shape tool, I have a line tool. And what I can do is I can create a line. I'm going to use a color that's very easy to see. I'm going to use a bright red. And this is 5 pixels up here at the top. I'm just going to make it 1 pixel just so it's very narrow. And so if I were to, say, draw a line from this bale across the field to his shoulder, and I wanted to know what that distance is. So I have to deselect this. Okay. So if I wanted to come back to that over and over again, maybe walk away and then ask Nick, like, Nick, I think this is the distance I want to get. I can bring my cursor back to these exact edges, more and more. I can keep zooming in by doing Control+, and I can keep zooming into exactly where the line is, and I'll probably be able to see that better.
And while you're here, so notice that the window gets bigger, and the picture seems like it's filling it up, but it's getting grainier and grainier. What you're seeing is that unit of space that images have, which is the pixel. So when you're back all the way out to the normal magnification, it looks like 200% now. You don't see the individual pixels because there are several thousand of them. But if you start zooming in, you see the individual pixels that the camera recorded that image.
All right. So here's the last thing I'm going to show you, and I would encourage you to try some of this between now and the next time we see you. Sumo Paint is free, and it's a lot like Photoshop. And you'll find that it has a very similar tool palette along the side. So here's Sumo loading up. It works on PCs. And I'll put this into our notes so you can get to it. But what you can do is you can open up from your hard drive, just like I did with the $600, Photoshop. And I'm going to go to my downloads. I go to, I'll do a different image just for fun. So this is another one from the India stuff that I was wanting to work on. I'm going to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And I feel like this one, maybe the color's not very intense. Maybe this one does need to change things. But you'll find that all the same things that we had before are pretty much over here along our little tool palette. So you can go up in here and you can do image adjust. You can rotate things. You can select large areas and start to change them. We have adjustments over here. So let's say color balance. Maybe this is a little bit too cool. So what I might want to do is I might want to bring some red in. Okay, maybe I want to bring red and green in because red and green make yellow in RGB. And then also maybe the blue's too strong. Push the blue back. Push